it was a good match. He won it clean, and just sucks that he had to go that route. Yeah, but it's the wrestling business for you. And then so Beyond Fest announced their first big announcements and the movies they'll be playing for the first screenings, and they're gonna feature Indian director S.S. Ramouli. They're gonna play 3 of his films, and one of which RRR that came out this year, which I fucking love. They're playing it at the Chinese IMAX theater, which seats 900 people, I think. Tickets went on sale today, and it sold out within 3 minutes.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I think it's the third largest IMAX screen in the nation. So that's fucking awesome. If you haven't seen RRR yet, I think it's still streaming on Netflix. It's awesome. It's fucking 3 hours of fucking some of the best cinema you'll ever see. Check it out. Yeah, that's all I got for any of my news. What do you got for us, Wes?
All right. Just a couple of things. First off, the Clerks 3 reviews have started to roll in, and so far the critic reactions are positive, stating that this might be some of director Kevin Smith's best work so far. Crazy bold words. With Smith seeming to dial in harder on the drama side this time around. You can look for the film hitting theaters September 13th, which is actually next week, next Tuesday. Yeah, what do you guys think about that? Are you excited for Clerks 3?
Of course I'm super excited.
I was surprised that Kevin Smith was even coming out with the third one when he announced it. So I know everybody wanted it, but I was just surprised to see him to follow through with it.
It's good for Kevin Smith too. Like, I know, like if you're a hardcore Kevin Smith fan, you pretty much love like everything he's done. Obviously, there's things that he's done that have been better, but yeah, man, give that guy all his flowers because he deserves it. So if this is going to be one of his best, he fucking deserves it.
Yoga hosers?
Oh.
Look, why you got to bring up old shit?
Oh man. All right, and then to shamelessly plug ourselves, also September 13th next week in San Diego, we're going to be co-presenting a little film from the 90s called Go with our friends at the Digital Gym Cinema. You can get pre-sale tickets now at digitaljim.org. $10 pre-sale or $10 at the door the day of. Starts at 7. You can get there a little bit earlier. We're going to have some vendors and cool little 90s raffle involving some great titles from that era of the 90s, or that year, I should say, 99. And we're very excited. Hopefully all of us are going to be, I should say all of our co-hosts will be able to attend and have some fun and, welcome Digital Gym back into the rotation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Go and buy your ticket, buy friends' tickets, buy your mothers, your fathers, all those tickets, and support Digital Gym.
And now it's time for the weekly recommendations.
The only thing, new thing that not really new, but I was just watching it recently was Gladiator with Russell Crowe.
Are you not entertained?
Yeah. Alyssa's actually doing it. Surprisingly, that was a school assignment to watch that for her film study class.
Film study, eh?
Yeah, so I was surprised that she's actually doing that. And the fun thing is it's a different movie every week, and then she has to kind of dissect it and essentially do what we're doing, but not really talk about it. So that's really cool, and it's a lot of some movies I haven't seen in a while, or some movies I haven't seen at all. But yeah, it was The Gladiator. I got to watch it with her, and then help her with her homework and go over answer questions and stuff.
Are you taking? I have a quick question for you, James.
Yeah.
Are you taking that that rare time to be a film snob with her?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, I have to. It's like, finally a chance to show off something. That I love doing that, and I love it's fun to dissect stuff, and it makes me feel really smart when I get to to help her out with the movie and try to explain things better or in an easier way. So it's cool. But yeah, The Gladiator. I think it's available on Prime right now. If you don't own it, check that out. Definitely a good one. Very good. I think one of Russell Crowe's best. Yeah, check it out. That's my one and only for this week.
So I got a good amount. I started to listen to The Extreme Life of Matt Hardy. It's a podcast. It's like weekly that he does with wrestling, kind of like writer and personality John Alba. And every episode he just talks about something differently. I think this week they're going to be talking about ECW and like his run as the champion down there. And then last week, it's crazy, they did a whole episode on CM Punk before all this shit happened. Just so happened that they did that episode, and then all that stuff with AEW happened. So yeah, check it out. I think it's everywhere: Spotify, Apple, everywhere you can get a podcast. And it's good stuff if you like wrestling. And then on Saturday, me and my girlfriend braved the National Cinema Day crowd. I went to go see Bullet Train. I fucking loved it. I think it cracked my top 10 of the year. It was super entertaining. Brad Pitt still has it. Yeah, I think it's still playing everywhere in theaters, right? That wasn't just they didn't bring it back for that.
Yeah, it's still playing.
Yeah, check it out, Bullet Train. Yep. And then there's a new documentary series on Netflix. It's called Untold. They're sports documentaries. The first episode is about Manti Te'o, Notre Dame linebacker from 2012, and their undefeated season, and his experience with a catfish. That I don't know if you guys remember that or remember seeing that in the news, but in 2012 you could not go anywhere sports-wise and not hear about Manti Te'o, and then it came out that he had a girlfriend that didn't exist. And it is that shit insane story, and it's a fucking awesome series on Netflix. It's one episode, but it's like a two-parter.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely check that out. It's crazy. You get a very, very different perspective from him, and yeah. And then
it's crazy. It's crazy how the media turned on him too.
Yeah, it sucks, dude. Notre Dame is my college team. I've loved Notre Dame since I was little. And I remember that season like it was yesterday. Is one of the greatest, collegiate football players of all time, having one of the greatest college football seasons of all time. And then all this stuff happens, and then this happens, and it kind of just sad. It derailed the end of the season, and it kind of derailed his NFL career too. He just was not able to pick up where he left off before the scandal. And it's pretty sad too. You get his point of view, and it's in his family's point of view. Really sad, but yeah, check that out. And then my last rec, I wrecked it a couple weeks ago. It comes out tomorrow. I have tickets again to go see it tomorrow. Please go see Barbarian. I don't think anything's going to top it horror-wise. I know Halloween hasn't came out yet. It comes out next month. This is going to be very, very, very hard to top. Fucking hilarious. It's terrifying. It's everything you want in a horror movie. It's a fucking breath of fresh air. Go into it not knowing anything about it either. Maybe watch the trailer, but that's it. And if you do get to see it, do not fucking spoil anything for anything.
All right, so Rex for me. Last Saturday, I paid $3 to see 1975's Jaws in IMAX for National Cinema Day. It was an amazing experience. I had never seen it on the big screen, much less pay that little for a ticket. Holds up. Incredible film. I kind of understood what Tarantino said like a couple months ago about how Jaws is one of the best films ever made. In a lot of ways, still very, very scary. The effects hold up. It's amazing, and I feel like The Conjuring, we're going to be talking about that in a little bit. Takes a lot of cues. It uses the Jaws effect in its premise too. So, yeah, go watch Jaws if you can. I think it's still playing for the anniversary. Obviously not for $3, but yeah, go support the film. I think it scared up like $3 million over this past weekend.
Damn.
Yeah. So people were excited. It wasn't just me, I want to share a little story. It's very quick about my experience in the theater. About halfway through the film, it's about 2 hours and change. The movie's runtime. Halfway through, a certain chain that I went to, I won't, put them on blast on air, turned off the AC in the theater.
Holy shit.
So I was felt like I was baking, like if I was on the beach for real. Jaws was going to get me. Yeah. And then they turned it on towards the end. I'm not sure if that was them saying fuck you because nobody paid full price. So we don't get the nice conditions, maybe? I don't know. But I was just
gotta save money somehow.
I was like, damn, the whole thing is like to beat the heat and go watch a movie, man. This is not cool. Not cool at all. But yeah, go watch Jaws. And my second rec, just earlier today, I busted out my A24 special edition of Midsummer, the director's cut. 2 hours and 50 minutes of realness. And I wanted to give a special shout out to Florence Pugh, who is, I feel like she's going through kind of a rough patch with the "Don't Worry, Darling" kind of controversy right now. But she looked incredible at that premiere of the movie in that Valentino dress. So shout out to Florence. You're awesome, and it's safe to say that I think we're all on her side on this show.
Yeah.
Yes. Did you see how she's not going to be at the LA premiere? I think.
No, but that doesn't surprise me. Not one bit. I
was just thinking about how maybe she might make an appearance at D23 with all that shit they're doing there.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Drop the Mic's gonna be there. Come say what's up. Come find me. But yeah, Midsummer, incredible. Ari Aster, one of the goats, one of the contemporary goats for sure. Check that out if you haven't already.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now for the movie focus of the week.
Ryan wanted to talk about one of the highest grossing horror films of all time, the original Conjuring. As I just stated, this week we're talking about The Conjuring. It's rated R. It's from 2013. It's a psychological thriller. Runs at 1 hour and 52 minutes, and it's got a well-earned 86% on Rotten. Written by Chad Hayes and Carrie W. Hayes, and directed by the great, always great, even when he's directing The Fast and the Furious, James Wan.
Yes.
Starring Vera Farmiga, Patrick Wilson, Lily Taylor, Joey King, Ron Livingston, Mackenzie Foy, John Brotherton, Kyla Dever, Haley McFarland, Shannon Kook, and Joseph Bishara. After the Perrin family moves into their new farmhouse in 1971, a paranormal entity begins to make its presence more and more apparent, forcing the family to seek out the assistance of famed paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. Filmmaker James Wan first burst onto the scene with the original Saw in 2004, which helped spark the torture porn subgenre that became popular through the mid to late 2000s. In an effort to try to shake the gore stigma off with films like 2007's Dead Silence and 2010's Insidious, Wan did just that, focusing more on atmosphere and tension, pushing the envelope of the PG-13 rating. Those two previous films would act as a preview of what the first Conjuring would ultimately be, a hard R traditional haunted house flick that does a beautiful